Mr. Jackson, we got the Million Father March coming up on Tuesday, first day of school. I understand the program is expanded across the country.
Across the world. We're in Pretoria, South Africa, 4 cities in the Virgin Islands, Toronto, Canada, Windsor, Canada, as well as all the major cities, New York, Baltimore, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Houston, Los Angeles, Omaha, Milwaukee. So we're in 609 cities with the Million Father March. We expect 800,000 men to take their children to school. Unfortunately, we're not getting a lot of support here in Chicago.
Well, you never get any support, in the Bible it says you don't get any honor in your own home.
This is where in New York, they claim the Million Father March started there. It started in a church basement on 50th and Dorchester 7 years ago, right here in Chicago. 10 men, and now it will probably be 1 million fathers next year. So,
we also understand you on Dorothy Tillman's show Saturday morning, and you were recommending that some children may not have contact with their fathers, so you had asked for surrogates, uncles, brothers, grandfathers.
Yes, sir. A lot of schools have been trying to shut us down. They say, well, we don't want to hurt the children's feelings who don't have fathers. And we say to them, we're going to bring fathers up for everybody. When a father comes up, he's everybody's father. And so now kids who don't have fathers, they might have 2 or 3 fathers on that day. But that's one of the major things, getting schools to work with us and getting some of these mamas to put aside their personal stuff and say, you know what, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's really about the baby, and I'm going to let the baby be with you on that day. So we're working it. We're pushing it, and this is going to be a very successful year. We're going to be at Price Elementary School, 4351 South Drexel, 8:15 in the morning. Million Father March. We expect a great turnout of fathers and men.
But you're going to have fathers taking children to school across the city and across the country.
Across the country, across the world.
Okay.
On that day. It's called National Fathers Take Your Children to School Day.
Now, for the first time in the history of Chicago Public School, I think I'm correct, the Track E school started back in August. Was there any type of effort to get fathers to escort those children to school?
No, those fathers are being asked this Tuesday, Track E fathers, to come on this day.
Okay, that way you coordinate the whole thing together,
Absolutely.
Keep it consistent.
Yes, sir.
So it wasn't diluted.
No, sir.
So we're looking forward to getting you in the studio and back at Talking Success to talk about the Deborah movement.
The Deborah movement.
Deborah movement. You know, sometimes in our community we go from Deborah
to Deborah.
To
right.
Deborah.
No, I'm clear. Or Deborah. Or Debbie.
Or
I
Debbie.
understand. But this is I am Deborah. And these are some women who are out there on the streets. Some people say they're doing the work of the men. They walk in patrols. They provide escorts to some of the kids. So, you know.
Well, you know, in African-American community, even going back historically to the 19th century, even during slavery and coming out of slavery, our women have always been able to take the leadership because the oppressor would always find ways to keep the man down. And we were even trained, I'm not trying to give a history lesson, I'm interviewing you, but you know as well as I do that oftentimes the mothers taught the sons
That's right.
to remain humble and submit to the will of the oppressor for their own safety.
So they can stay alive.
Right.
But then we've had sisters like Harriet Tubman, like Sojourner Truth, like Ida B. Wells. Them sisters didn't take no prisoners, you know, and they didn't give quarter, they didn't take none. They said our people will be free.
You know, I'm reading a book by a gentleman named Brother Joyner talking about Mother Meacham that started a program. I'm going to have to share that with you right here in the Bronzeville area. And she had a social service program, tapped into the churches for finance. There was no money from the state, county, or the federal government. And the community banded together. And she was able to teach children drama, reading, music, great programs. And this goes back to the 40s.
And we have got to do that today. We cannot depend upon this system to either educate our children or to keep them safe. We have counted since Darian Elbert was killed on September 24, 2009, 76 children, 18 and under, have been killed here in the city of Chicago. We cannot depend upon this system to keep our children safe. We have to do it.
Right. Any child lost is a great loss. someone was throwing statistics at me this morning. Said, well, if you look at the number of children we've lost, it's minuscule compared to the number of children that's still living and breathing. And I thought that was a deplorable comment to share with me.
No, sir. Even the ones who are living and breathing are affected by all the children that we lost.
Right.
It's almost as though they have post-traumatic stress syndrome. They can't do well in school. They can't do well out here in the community because psychologically we have lost them.
Right. Well, I want to thank you. Keep up the great work.
All right, and say hello to your beautiful daughters.
Thank you.